What's wrong with the youth of today? Wandering lost, it's true what they say.
Buck 65 sur PUREchannel, peut-être un des artistes les plus présents sur notre web TV depuis le lancement. Hi Buck, it's a pleasure to see you back.
Thank you. It's good to see you again.
Yeah, we should do that every 3 months. Remind that 20 odd years is released. You can buy it legally everywhere on every platform. We should have a rendezvous like that.
That's a good idea. And then we will, and then eventually we'll meet to discuss 21
and 22
years.
and
Yeah.
I'm quite happy first to talk with you here in Montréal.
Yeah.
Last time it was in Paris. Now we are in your country.
Yeah.
I bet you feel very proud to be playing in a jazz festival here in Montréal. Listen, the record, there's a lot of genre styles, blues, groove, ballads, rock, pop, very few jazz. Only the drum solo you program could be a jazz.
Yeah, I think that's right. You know, with some of my songs in the past, there has been some jazz influence, and in 1999, I made a jazz album with a jazz drummer named Jerry Granelli, and his claim to fame, he made an album with a guy named Vince Guaraldi, and they made a very famous album that everybody plays at Christmas time in North America. And there was a cartoon in the 60s of Charlie Brown, you know, and so this music is associated with this cartoon. And so many years later I made an album with this guy, and it was the first time I played the jazz festival was with him, maybe 97 or something like that. Also, I lived in this city for 1 year, and so it's always great to come back here and play in the city and in this festival, and it feels good.
All the artists says that the audience here is really living the music. They can shout when you do a good part of a song. They're really into it. Do you feel like that? You dig that vibe too in Montreal?
Yeah, I've always found that. I've always had good shows in Montreal, but in the jazz festival in particular, it seems to bring out real serious music lovers, and so they're really paying attention, they're responding at all the right moments, you know, and so it seems to be a very sophisticated audience that you can play for here.
Which is really good for musicians. No, you can go even stronger on the set when you respond.
Yeah, well, of course. It's always a good motivation when you're on stage, when you have a strong response from the audience, and so it's a nice plus. Even if I don't have that, if it's quiet and I know people are paying attention, I'm still happy. But when you have a nice strong response with the combination of knowing that they're paying strong attention as well, is perfect.
What is going to be the setup for live tonight? I was wondering, are you going to be with many musicians alone? What did you decide?
It will be similar to the last set I played when I was in Paris. There will be my friend Marnie, who you met last time, and also, you know, one of the other vocalists on the album is from Montréal, Marie-Pierre Arthur.
Marie-Pierre, Final Approach, you see.
Exactly, and so tonight we will perform this song together for the first time.
It's a really beautiful ending song of the record, and you sing in French on that track. A
little bit, you know. There's a famous French slogan from May '68, "Vive sans timbre." You know, so I'm borrowing a little bit and touching some French culture, and I have a few songs in the past as well where I do some singing in French, and of course on the song with Olivia Ruiz, there's some French as well. So I make the effort, I'm trying.
You're doing that really well. We should remind the concept of the record 20 odd years. It's a kind of big party to celebrate your 20 years of career we just talked about. Did you compose for everyone knowing what they were going to do on that record precisely?
Yes, I would say so. I would always begin by making the music. And then once the music was beginning to take a nice shape, I would begin to hear the melody, the vocal melody, and then I would begin to identify the voice that I needed for this song. And so in most cases I had the melody written. In some cases I had the lyrics written as well. And then I just went to find a friend that had the voice I was hearing in my head, and then have them, bring it to life for me. But in some cases, you know, I invited, you know, these guests to, you know, bring some of their own ideas to it.
You had surprises.
Few surprises, yeah, but mostly it came from my brain.
We should end with the question. On your website, there is a good sentence saying that on that record you are on the search for the perfect melody after long enjoying the fruits of perfect beat. And we talked about it, but it's true that on that record the melody are really beautiful. It could be more country, more rock, more anything. Really, you singing. And we talked about Lou Reed last time also. Did you? Yeah, you had in mind that very artisanal approach of melody.
Yeah, exactly. It was the idea that I began with for this album, as I was thinking, okay, what do I want to do next? What is my next challenge? And the answer for me, in one word, was melody. And so I worked, you know, very hard on that, and it was the thing that I was pursuing. And it's a big challenge for me because, you know, as a hip-hop artist, I was always concerned with rapping and with beats before, and so it wasn't a primary concern for me. And so I still have a lot to learn, you know, about melody and writing great melodies, but I think there are some strong ones on this album, but I'm lucky, you know, to have some very talented friends who can sing these parts well. I mean, I really think Jenn Grant, for example, is one of the best singers in the world. And
yeah, I had the melodies in mind, the one you were singing last time, but yeah, it's really sticking. And Jenn is amazing on that record.
Yeah.
There are 3 songs.
Yes, that's
Jenn. Right. Last question. You signed a French in Warner. You're saying things 202. Now you're making a living and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Is it quite differently in your way you compose, work, having that freedom and no money issues anymore?
Yeah.
Really different than when you were independent?
I think so. I think it's different, you know, because, you know, if you are trying to be creative, but you're worried about making money, then, you know, your creative thinking, I think, is poisoned a little bit. You need to keep that as pure as possible. And so sometimes I know, you know, we have this glamorous romantic image of, you know, the poor artist just struggling to survive, and this is what is, you know, motivating him or her. But, you know, for me, this pressure and, you know, sometimes if there is stress going with trying to be creative, for me, it always has been, you know, something that was, you know, blocking me a little bit, and just it made it difficult. But now, you know, I have this freedom. I don't really need to think about money. I didn't think about it too much in the past, but now I don't need to think about it at all. And so I feel like I'm just completely artistically free. You know, I can do anything. And
you can hear it on the record. 20-odd years. Thank you very much for that homemade interview.
Yeah.
Like, it's a pleasure. And rendezvous in Paris for the 21
okay.
old year.
Yeah.
Thanks very much. PUREchannel, $65, and go buy legally the record, of course. See you tonight in the club.
Yeah.